literally seen what was done unto the demon that was trying to uproot him.
And some men, like the men of the Lord doing the work now, we don't need these miracles to build our faith, to show us, the Lord gives us things to, build our faith, but some people do need these miracles to come to the fold. It's just the level of spirituality that the Heavenly Father gave us. That level of faith. Awesome.
It's another one, Acts 8:7.
Hold on, real quick. Since you said faith. This is Matthew. It's a lot. This is Matthew 17. And verse 20. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder this place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
You go into horticulture, mustard seed is a very small grain, but what does it do? It packs a punch. When you grind it down and you use it, it packs a punch, and it also sprouts up as either a tree or a bush. I'm not sure what which one it comes from. So your faith grows like that very small grain into something much bigger.
This is Isaiah, Acts chapter 8, verse. I started 5. Then Philip went down to the city of Samaria and preached Yahushua unto them. And the people with one accord gave heed unto those things which Philip spoke, seeing and hearing the miracles which he did. For unclean spirits, crying with loud voices, came out of many that were possessed with them.
So the apostles, they was casting demons off of people. That's what it means. And then palsy, it's called a cerebral palsy. Yeah, cerebral palsy. It's like the cerebral palsy. Isn't that like when you, I'm not sure exactly what it does.
Google it right quick. Everybody?
I think it's like a
brain malfunction.
Yeah, cerebral is usually mean of the mind or something like that. If I could be wrong, it's best we Google it.
I think it's like when you are paralyzed.
But it's here. It's not physically.
Right.
Let's see what it say.
A congenital disorder of movement, muscle tone, and posture.
Oh, there you go.
So like when they isn't that like a deformity too?
Yeah, kind of. Symptoms include aggravated reflexes.
It's like muscle spasm,
floppy or rigid limbs, involuntary motions. These appear as early childhood.
Yeah, when your brain can't do the cognitive functions of your body you can't control the functions of your body. I think that ties into Tourette's also. Because it's involuntary.
But it says that the apostles were healing people that have palsy. They were casting demons off of people, and it's a little bit more. They said,
and you know how bad Jake is, man. Our bodies break down constantly because the Lord made us to be holy, but it's defiled every day. So that's why it's constantly suffering, breakdowns, man. So they was dealing with health issues for the longest, man. Even to this very day. Even certain men of the Lord, we got infirmities, man. You having a muscle weaknesses on one part of your body, certain parts shutting down on you. You don't know what the hell is going on.
It's Isaiah 40 and 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run, they shall not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
It says, but they that wait upon the Lord, because the Lord has the power and gives it out. It says they shall mount up with wings as eagles. What is that talking about? That's talking about flying. Brothers, brother, didn't you have a dream about levitating or something similar to that? But so it says flying, running, not get weary. These are all things that Esau takes from the scriptures and puts them into movies. That's talking about like running, not get weary. That's the Flash and the powers that come with him. Flying, all the superheroes that fly. What's his name? Superman. You know, these are powers that's gonna come unto the men of the Lord, man.
You brought up Superman. I always gotta bring this up. His name on planet Krypton is Kal-El, which breaks down into all power, called Allah, which is all power. And that's what we're talking about here, getting all power. You know, he can move fast, he could fly, he could he has strength, he was invincible. Not forget about that, as well as shoot lasers and all that from his eyes. A bunch of different things that he could do.
Yahweh Shai said, the things that you see me do, you shall be able to do it greater. That was a promise.
Yep.
That was a promise, because after he left, he sent them the Holy Spirit, and that's immediately what started happening.
Yep.
You know, they started raising the dead. I believe that was, if I'm not mistaken, that's Peter's first miracle. Was I think he healed a lame person, and then he raised a woman from the dead, man.
Yep.
I believe it was what, Tabitha?
Yep. Dorcas.
You know?
Dorcas.
Yep. She got raised up, man.
Tabitha and Dorcas, the same person.
You know, you had Philip when he went down to the Ethiopian eunuch, and he basically taught him in the scriptures. You know, Isaiah the 53rd chapter, and after he broke bread with him and opened his understanding up, the eunuch was like, "Hey, I want you to baptize me." So he went and he stopped the chariot, and they got off and they went and got baptized in the water. And then immediately after that,
after he came up,
he realized Philip wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Philip was basically gone. And it tells you that the Spirit, matter of fact, you're still in Acts 8. Or did you leave from that chapter? I get it. Go to Acts 8 real quick.
Yeah.
Go down to that point when.
I won't tell the word. I'll wait. Yeah.
All right, I started
like around 31, maybe 32.
Read the whole thing.
Yeah, just read down to it. Just read all the way down.
This Acts chapter 8, and I start at 34. No, actually.
Start at 36, bro.
36. All right.
Yeah, just get. Because everybody know about when he came to the Ethiopian eunuch.
Like Apostle said, it was a Jake. We all know that was a Jake.
Right.
It's Acts 8.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question, brother.
Okay.
How would you have known that he was an Israelite, the Ethiopian eunuch? I don't mean to, put you on the spot, but basically, you had a lot of Israelites that were scattered, and they came to Jerusalem for the time of the Feast of Pentecost. And it tells you, going back into the law, that 3 times out of the year, that all the males of Israel are supposed to come to Jerusalem for the feast. So that's why the Ethiopian eunuch, even though he came from out of Ethiopia, he came to Jerusalem. So that's how you would know that that's an Israelite.
He wasn't a Hamite.
He wasn't an actual Cushite.
And the fact that he believed also.
And also he had faith.
Yep, he had faith in this word. Right.
And he's reading our book, our scrolls.
Right.
Yep. Go ahead,
Acts chapter 8, verse 36. And as they went on their way, they came unto a certain water, and the eunuch said, "See, here is water. What doeth hinder me to be baptized?"
Yeah, what's stopping me from being baptized? There's water right there. He really wants to get his remissions, his sins remitted, man.
He wasn't worried about going way over to Jordan, to the River Jordan. He was like, "There's water, right here. I got faith to believe that water."
He was thirsty, man.
Yeah.
He wants the word.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And Philip said, "If thou believest with all thy heart, thou mayest." And he answered and said,
"You're gonna have brothers that's coming in. They're gonna be thirsty like that, man. They gonna have their books open and they ready to go, man. Especially when they see enough going on in society that we've been speaking about. That's when they really gonna be trying to get fed, man. Go ahead, bro.
And he answered and said, I believe that Yahushua HaMashiach is the Son of the Most High. And he commanded the chariot to stand still, and they went down into the water, both Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him.
That was an earthly chariot. Let's not get simple here, or try to get too deep.
They had wagons back then.
Right.
They used the horses, you know, or asses and whatever, man. That was anything with wheels back then was called a chariot.
A chariot is just a vehicle.
It's just a vehicle with wheels, man. Go ahead, man.
And when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more.
The what? Wait, read that part.
Yeah.
And when they were come
People
up,
will read that and just
slip right past it.
They won't put no thought to that, man.
that's
Just read right through it. Read that again.
And when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, and the eunuch saw him no more. And when he went on his way rejoicing.
Wait, so the Spirit abducted him and took him away?
But Philip was found in Azotus, and passing through, he preached all the cities till he came to Caesarea.
So
they were between Gaza and Jerusalem.
Salak. Basically, from the point that he came from the water and got baptized, and once he looked over and noticed that he wasn't there, he was already in that town.
Yeah.
He was already in
it's actually Ashdod.
It's Ashdod.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bro, look up. Somebody will go on their phone and look up the distance between Ashdod and Gaza, because that's where they was at. They was in Gaza.
You just Google it. Damn demon.
Somebody look up the distance, man.
The water.
Because it said the Spirit basically caught him away, and he appeared.
Yeah.
The Spirit caught him away, and then he appeared. What's the distance on that, bro?
3,700. Hold on. This is from Gaza to Ashdod. This air travel distance is equal to 3,771 miles.
Woo! That's straight. That's a straight line. That's not if you got to wind around rivers or mountains or nothing like that.
So did Philip walk all the way? That's wrong.
That's wrong. Yeah.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Okay. It's different.
I was about to say, nah.
Yeah.
Because 3,000 miles, that's across Cali to like New York. Like past New York.
But it's not. Excuse me. That's not impossible.
Hey, you can leave. You can go.
Type in Ashdod, Israel.
Oh, the other Ashdod.
So it was another Ashdod. Okay. 59.8 kilometers.
Okay.
So how many miles is that?
It says travel duration. This for a plane, an hour and 3 minutes.
In a plane.
If you're traveling 50 kilometers per hour.
He wasn't traveling 50 kilometers.
So you say that's 36 miles.
36 miles. 36.6 miles.
That's walking distance, but that's a long walk.
Well, we ain't nobody over here for the walk that long, man.
Yeah, that's about a day, 2 days journey.
Yeah. Walking. In those times, there wasn't no paved roads or none of that, man.
That's like walking from here to like state line.
Yeah.
But it happened. You got to understand, it happened within an instance.
Which goes to show what? Ignore that, bro. That's Satan is bugging out right now, bro. You know. I'll light another incense.
She wanted you, brother.
Yeah, she was actually.
You, brother?
Yeah, that's what she
I felt good it wasn't me this time. I like the camera, man. They don't mess with you like that.
That demon liked the way you handled it.
I seen her walking.
She seen the power, bro.
She saw the power.
She seen the power.
Let me go back.
So go back, bro.
But Philip was found in Astos, which is
Ashdod.
Ashdod. And passing through, he preached in all the cities till he came to Caesarea. So that man.
So basically what happened, he teleported.
Yeah.
Yep.
The spirit teleported him over to Ashdod, man.
Like Nightcrawler.
Yep.
Of the X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, that's what that's like. That's like a like me and a brother was talking. Imagine like the apostles get spiritual power. Next thing you know, our brothers at camp, they just show it right next to you. Shalom, man. Yo, we gonna be like,
No. Apostle Ricard was just in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And, you know, like he was just in Baltimore, and then y'all about to start camp on the same day.
Yeah.
And then right after he get done with camp in Baltimore,
20 minutes in between.
20 minutes in between, and then next thing you know, brothers is kicking the camp off, and Apostle Ricard shows up.
Yeah.
Shalom, Akil.
Well, yeah, an
In 20
unreasonable
minutes after he just was just at that camp.
You just
Unreasonable
closed your
amount of
phone
time.
looking at the live stream.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he showed
And
up.
now he's showing up at your camp.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Unreasonable amount of time.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
See, these type of things, Esau, you can't scientifically
came up.
understand it, man. You can't put a science to it, okay? It's beyond your realm of understanding, okay? Oh, it was another account like that. Yahweh Shai did it.
Yep.
Nah, he teleported.
When he went to go to
Did it.
John's, I think it's the 6th chapter.
Yep.
6 and like start like around the 16th verse, I think.
I got his.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come.
Get that too. Get that in John real quick.
16.
Yeah, start like around 16th verse.
God, and it's
Somebody
John
get the one
6,
with Lot too.
And 16. And when even was now come, his disciples went down into the sea
They went down to the sea, right?
and entered into a ship and went over the sea towards Capernaum.
Oh, that's the one you're talking about.
Come.
And it
He
was
They were about to be
times.
on their way to the
Yeah.
other side of the sea. Now, mind you, this
He
this
missed the
sea,
boat.
It had to be at least 9 miles wide, right? Go ahead.
and it was now dark, and Yahweh Shai was not come to them.
So it's nighttime, and Yahweh Shai wasn't anywhere in sight. And you know, when you're around a heavy body of water at nighttime, it gets pitch black dark, man. So you can't really see. Go ahead.
And the sea arose by reason of a great wind that blew. So when they had rowed about 5 to 20 or 30 furlongs,
That's a roughly around 3 or 4 miles.
Yep.
So they 3 or 4 miles into the off into the sea. All right, so they in the middle of nowhere.
You can't catch him on foot, man.
Ain't no way you gonna catch him on foot, right?
And you're over water anyway.
Go ahead, bro.
they see Yahweh Shai walking on the sea.
But he's walking.
Yeah.
On the sea.
Just imagine you just see you on a cruise ship in the middle of nowhere.
It said it was. Didn't it say that it was?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the
Rough.
water was.
The water was rough, and he was
Come.
walking on it.
Come.
And drawing nigh unto the ship, it's like it was starting. So when they had rowed about 5 and 20 or 30 furlongs, they see Yahweh Shai walking on the sea.
So he see Yahweh Shai is basically walking towards them, meeting them halfway in the middle of the sea
At night.
at night. So you know, to the average physical eye, you're gonna see something like that, and you're gonna be like, shit. Oh
You
shit.
know, Yahweh Shai had
That's
like
what they say.
You know, Yahweh Shai had a glow about him too, so
Yeah.
you could see him, but he was the only thing out there.
Come.
Yeah.
Come,
Watch
man.
what
But
they say.
They was
though.
able to see him though.
Yeah, watch what they say about it. Yeah.
And drawing nigh unto the ship, they were afraid.
They
Uh-huh.
got shook. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
But he saith unto them, It is I, be not afraid. Then they willingly received him into the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land.
Wait, what?
What? Right?
And then immediately the ship was at the land.
Whither they went.
But see, they was 3 or 4
Furlongs. No, miles.
They were
3 or 4
3 or
miles.
4 miles out into the sea. So how was they immediately, after they received them to the ship, how was they immediately at the seashore? Yahweh Shai teleported. They teleported, man.
Yeah.
All right. That's what. Hey, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's some wild shit, man.
You see, he controlled how that teleportation would work.
Yep.
Like you were saying earlier, if you give it to random Jake out here in the world, they're gonna use it for wickedness, man. That type of power ain't meant for regular men to try to use their carnal minds to understand. He made that journey easy on those men. 'Cause when you go to sea, any body of water, the possibility of death can happen, man. Yeah. It could be shipwreck or whatever else.
That's why they have a lighthouse, because it's so dark out there. People run, if they don't have that lighthouse, people run into the shore.
Yep.
Run into the dock.
Yep. Yeah, notice Yahweh Shai really wasn't, because you remember he told them be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Yahweh Shai, he didn't perform not one miracle that was harmful to his people, man. Mm-hmm. You know, he used it to get away from men that were trying to harm him. He used power to you know, to heal people, to restore health to certain Israelites. You know, he uses power to it was for different uses, even to travel. You know, they even told you in John the 8th chapter when they asked him about Abraham, and he basically said some shit that went over their head.
I was there.
And they was getting ready to try to stone him.
Yeah.
And right as they was doing it, it said that he hit himself in the temple, and basically, like, it was basically like he just disappeared up out of there.
They said it. I'll read this shit.
Yeah.
This is John 8 and 59. Then took they stones to cast at him, but Yahushua hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. Right. So it wasn't like it was just a few people. It was a mist. It was a substantial amount of people. And Yahushua somehow, some way, he basically went through the midst of them.
He did the same thing when they tried to, when he felt that after he did those miracles, he felt that they were going to try to take him and make him king.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Khan.
So he basically he dipped off and disappeared into the crowd so that nobody can lay hold on him to try to, you know, crown him and
hold him up and
exalt him. He didn't want to be exalted, man. That's why he was of no reputation. He made himself of no reputation. You know, he humbled himself, man, even though he had the power. And that's what the Lord is looking for. He ain't gonna use proud-ass niggas and give them the spiritual power, man. He'll give the most humble, most lowly brother, the most feeble brothers that power, man. You know, those that are most pure in heart. Okay? I know you was holding. Go ahead.
This is history of Baal and the dragon in the Apocrypha.
Which is out of the book of Daniel.
Yep. This is verse 33. Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl, and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, Go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Yeah. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which Yahweh has sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O power, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately.
Another teleportation.
Yeah. And the Lord will have angels, you know, take you up and put you somewhere else, man.
Was that Peter got him through that quadrant we were talking about?
Yeah.
4
quadrants, yeah, man.
Hey, you think, to make a quick point, do you think that they're really gonna, when they say, when Esau comes, rolls on the men of the Lord, you think we all gonna get persecuted? No, there's men that's gonna escape. The Spirit is gonna help some men escape. All right? Not just because Esau gonna let us out, but it's gonna be a miracle that gets some brothers out. Some brothers gonna be under the guillotine and get out of it. And some won't. You know, but that'll be an honorable martyr, but still.
Scripture says that some men shall not taste death.
Yep.
And that's a prophecy. That's going to happen. So somehow, some way, the Lord is going to preserve those men. And of course, we know it's going to be martyrs, but the Lord's going to preserve the men that He don't want to see death.
I got another one. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp thrusting instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff.
And that's talking about later when the Lord really changes us. You know, we're going to have that kind of power, man. You know? The Lord's going to use us as His battle axe and weapons of war. And that's why Esau, his military, anything that he has us set on this earth, it's not going to hold a candle to the power of the men that the Lord is going to raise up, man. You know? But like, even when you read in the Revelation 11 chapter, it even tells you that the prophets, they even have the power to cause rain to stop in the day of their prophecy, and to cause a fire to come down, like Elijah. So, hey, the prophets, they had power, man. You know? All type of, like I said, it was always paranormal experiences occurring around the prophets of the Lord, man. You know? Hey, Ezekiel, he got brought forth by the Spirit too. Get Ezekiel 8 real quick. Ezekiel the 8th chapter. You can start at the top.
Ezekiel 8:1. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I sat in mine house, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of the Lord power Yahweh fell there upon me. Then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire. From the appearance of his loins even downward fire, and from his loins even upward.
He saw the angel. And the angels, their glories, they're very bright like a fire, man. All right, the average person can't really come into contact with an angel without, you might get blinded or something, man. You know, so that's why when they did encounter the angels, they immediately put their face down, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
And from his loins even upward as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber. And he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of my head, and the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven.
Made him fly.
Yep. 144.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
And he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of mine head, and the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven, and brought me in the visions of the Most High to Jerusalem.
And brought him where?
And brought me in the visions of the Most High to Jerusalem.
Now, mind you, Ezekiel, he was living in Babylon. He was of the Babylonian captivity. How did he get to Jerusalem?
Right.
It just told you how he got to Jerusalem.
And that's why I had to really look for it. But same thing with Habakkuk. He was over in Assyria, but they had him. They said, "I've never been to Babylon. I don't know where that den is at." But the Spirit vehemently took him over there, and then immediately put him back.
I'm gonna continue to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy.
That's the point. That was it.
I was going to look for that account where Peter was. They had 4 quarantines of soldiers around them.
Quadrants, yeah.
Quadrants, yeah, and that was a miracle in itself.
Acts 12.
12. Acts 12. Yep. Hey, we're gonna have angels visiting us, man. I believe it.
Yeah.
You should believe it, you know. If you're able to believe these things right here, then you should believe that these things could is still gonna occur, man. You know. We're gonna start seeing stuff like this, man. You already,
Yeah, I mean,
you there?
This is Acts 12, and I'll start at the top. Now about the time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex the vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to four quadrants of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
And so that's, in total, that's 16 soldiers that was accompanying Peter. A quadrant is a band of 4 soldiers. So if there were 4 quadrants, that means there was 16 soldiers.
4 times 4.
They said, and it's going to say that he had 2 soldiers sleeping right next to him. Peter, therefore, was kept in prison, but prayers were made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him.
Hey, that's a lot. I want to make a point with that, because you're not just going to get spiritual power, man. You got to ask. So that means you got to pray.
And and you got to believe.
Yep, and you got to believe. You
got
to just say it. You got to believe in that, though.
And some of it, like Yahushua said, some of this is going to come from prayer and fasting. A few days of prayer and fasting, you know, to do these type of miracles, you know.
And when Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. So everyone in that city or whatever, that town, knew Peter's fate, seeing what just happened to James. Or they know he was going to get put to death for sure. And he had the soldiers around him just so he wouldn't, you know, he had heard of the miracle, just so he wouldn't get away. Verse 7, and behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shone in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise up quickly. And his chains fell off his hands, and the angel said,
he tapped him like, hey, let's go. Right now, look, let's go. Sleep, let's go.
And you have, and the angels, I'm pretty sure they was taking charge. The fact that the angel was able to come through 16 soldiers, well, there was a few of them that was watching over them.
Right close.
The angels made sure that those soldiers were in deep sleep. They probably made sure that they made them dream or whatever they was doing to where they couldn't hear or see anything. They would just, you know, when you have those real deep sleeps, you can't hear shit. A thief, anybody can come into your crib. Well, that's this type of sleep that was on those soldiers, man. And then the angel came in and tapped, you know, and then the chains fell down. You get up, let's go. Go ahead.
And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shone in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side, and raised him up, saying, arise up quickly.
Get up, come on.
And his chains fell off his hands, off from his hands, and the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did.
Put your garment back on, man. Let's go.
And he saith unto him, cast thy garment about thee and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision.
And what's funny about it is they didn't say how he had doubt. He was like, no, he moved with the spirit. He was in the spirit moving with the angel.
They say adrenaline now. We know it's a spirit.
Spirit beyond you to do the right things at the right time. Right? And so in that day you can't doubt. You may have a small window to get something done. And if you don't react in that window, it's usually gonna be because of doubt, you ain't gonna get the results desired, man. But Peter in this occasion had that result desired. Okay?
When they were past the first and second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened